All right, so uh, are the robots taking over? I mean, are we all going to be out of a job because of AI?
Well, that's a question everyone's asking, right? It's
Yeah.
easy to get caught up in the hype, all the headlines.
Yeah, for sure. But today, we're trying to cut through all that noise and look at what's really going on with AI in the business world. What's actually happening.
Exactly. And to get a clear picture, we're diving into this Harvard Business Review interview with Erik Brynjolfsson.
Yeah, he's a professor at MIT, wrote The Second Machine Age.
And really a leading voice in AI.
Definitely. So he's not buying into all the doomsday scenarios.
Not exactly. One of the things he emphasizes is this idea of human-machine partnerships.
Partnerships. So AI is more like a coworker than a replacement.
Right. Think about it as AI augmenting what we can do,
Right.
not necessarily taking over completely.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So what does that look like in practice?
Well, Brynjolfsson gives this really cool example about salespeople at Udacity, that online education platform.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
So these salespeople are getting real-time coaching from AI while they're chatting with potential customers.
Whoa, so the AI is like whispering sales tips in their ear.
Pretty much, it analyzes the chat transcript and suggests the best responses to keep the conversation moving forward.
Interesting. So basically helping them close the deal.
Exactly. And the results are pretty impressive. Their success rates have gone up by 50%.
50%. That's huge. Okay, so maybe AI isn't so bad after all. If it can help us be that much better at our jobs.
That's the thing. It's not about AI versus humans. It's about finding ways to work together to get the best results.
I like that. So what other fields could benefit from this kind of AI partnership?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, think about doctors, lawyers, artists. Could they work alongside AI to enhance their skills?
I mean, we see headlines all the time about AI diagnosing diseases. Is it really that good?
It's pretty remarkable. Brynjolfsson talks about how AI is being used to diagnose cancer from medical images, and in some cases, it's actually outperforming human radiologists.
Outperforming. So are radiologists going to be out of a job then?
That's not really the point. Brynjolfsson argues that it's not about replacing doctors, but about combining AI's ability to analyze huge amounts of data.
Okay, so using AI to help make better decisions.
Exactly. Leveraging the strength of both AI and human expertise.
So the doctor is still calling the shots, but with an extra set of super smart eyes.
Right. It frees up doctors to focus on the more complex cases, the ones that require that human touch empathy.
Okay, that makes sense. So what makes AI different from the regular software I use every day?
It all comes down to machine learning.
Yeah.
Instead of being programmed for every single task, AI learns from data.
Learns from data.
Yeah, imagine feeding it millions of images or conversations. That's how it starts to recognize patterns and make decisions on its own.
So it's like teaching a kid by showing them a ton of examples instead of giving them a rule book.
Exactly. And this supervised learning is what's letting AI do things that used to be considered exclusively human capabilities.
Like what?
Remember those pictures that went viral a few years ago? The ones that asked, is this a puppy or a muffin? AI can now tell them apart better than we can.
Wow. Okay. That's both impressive and kind of scary. So what's driving this whole AI revolution?
Well, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of three powerful forces.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, you've got the sheer power of modern computers. Moore's law, that idea that computing power doubles every 2 years. It's still holding true. We're seeing massive increases in processing speeds because of that, and specialized chips designed for AI.
So the hardware is definitely there. What else?
Data. We're creating more digital information than ever before. Every click, every purchase, social media post, it's all data that can be fed to these AI algorithms.
So AI has a never-ending buffet of information to learn from. Okay, what's the third ingredient in this recipe?
The brains. The algorithms themselves are constantly being refined. Researchers are always finding ways to make AI more accurate and capable.
So it's like this perfect storm of advancements that's making AI so powerful.
That's one way to put it. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility. Brynjolfsson is pretty clear that there are some potential risks here that we need to talk about.
Yeah, let's definitely dig into those risks when we come back.
So we were talking about some of the potential risks of AI.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Are we all going to lose our jobs to robots?
Well, Brynjolfsson actually thinks the bigger risk is job displacement, not necessarily a full-on robot takeover.
Right, the whole robot stealing our jobs thing.
Yeah.
But I thought AI could create new jobs too.
It absolutely can. Think about the invention of the car.
Okay.
It put blacksmiths and carriage drivers out of work, but it also created whole new industries. car manufacturing, road construction, gas stations.
Right, so some jobs disappear, but new ones pop up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the key is adapting, making sure people have the skills to thrive in this changing world.
So what kind of skills are we talking about? Is it all about coding and algorithms?
Actually, Brynjolfsson highlights the skills that complement AI. Things like creativity, critical thinking, problem-solving, emotional intelligence.
So those human skills that AI can't really replicate.
Exactly. AI can crunch numbers and automate tasks. But it's humans who bring the ingenuity, the empathy, those essential human qualities.
Okay, I see. So how can businesses start preparing for this AI revolution?
Well, Brynjolfsson recommends a pretty practical approach. He suggests starting with an AI audit.
An AI audit? Sounds kind of scary.
It's not as intimidating as it sounds. It's about figuring out where AI can actually add value to your business.
Like what kinds of things?
Maybe it's automating certain tasks or personalizing customer experiences or finding hidden insights in your data.
Okay, so you figure out where AI can fit in. Then what?
Then it's all about experimenting. Don't be afraid to try things out. See what works.
Brynjolfsson is a big believer in a fail fast, learn fast approach.
So start small. Don't bet the whole farm on AI right away.
Right. Dip your toes in the water before you jump in head first.
Yeah.
And of course, remember your people.
Right, the human side of things.
Exactly. Invest in training and development so your workforce can work effectively with AI. So those skills we were talking about earlier, creativity, problem solving, all that.
Those are the skills that will be valuable in any field moving forward. And in an AI-powered world, they become even more important.
So it's about being adaptable and always learning new things.
That's the key. Brynjolfsson stresses the importance of a culture of lifelong learning.
Because the pace of change is only going to get faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The skills that are hot today might be obsolete tomorrow. So create an environment where your employees are always learning and growing. Give them access to online courses, workshops, mentoring programs.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about how businesses can use AI. But what about the bigger picture? How is AI going to change society as a whole?
That's the million-dollar question. And Brynjolfsson argues that AI has the potential to create enormous wealth.
So everyone's going to be rich.
Well, it's not that simple. He emphasizes the importance of sharing those benefits fairly. We need to think about the social and economic impact of AI, not just the technological advancements.
So things like retraining programs for people whose jobs are automated.
Exactly. And making sure the wealth generated by AI is distributed more equitably. He even suggests some pretty radical ideas, like a guaranteed basic income.
Wow, that's a whole other conversation.
It is. But it highlights how important it is to think beyond just the technical side of things. If we want AI to benefit everyone, we need to address these broader societal issues.
So it's about using AI to create a better world, not just a more efficient one.
Exactly. It's about harnessing this incredible power for good and being mindful of the potential downsides.
Sounds like we're at a crossroads. AI could lead to a brighter future, but only if we make the right choices.
That's a great way to put it. And those choices start with open and honest conversations about the impact of AI businesses, policymakers, everyday people. We all need to be part of this discussion.
This is getting pretty deep, but I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
We still have some pretty mind-blowing implications of AI to unpack.
Can't wait. Let's dive back in after the break.
So we're back, and man, there's a lot to think about when it comes to AI and society.
No doubt. It's a huge topic with so many implications. We were just talking about using AI responsibly, and I'm wondering, are there other risks we haven't covered yet? We touched on bias, but are there other ethical things we should worry about?
Oh yeah, definitely. As AI gets more and more sophisticated, we need to be extra careful about bias creeping into those algorithms.
Okay, so bias is a big one. What else?
Well, we got to make sure AI is used fairly, transparently, and that it's accountable, you know?
Transparency, accountability. What does that actually look like?
I mean, for one thing, we got to be able to understand how AI is making decisions. Like if someone gets denied a loan because of AI or a transaction is flagged as fraud, we need to know why.
Right. It can't just be a black box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if those decisions are based on biased data or messed up algorithms, there needs to be a way to fix it. You know, a way to challenge those decisions.
So it's not just about building AI, it's about building AI we can actually trust.
Totally. And that takes a lot of thought and collaboration between the people building AI, the policymakers, and the public.
It sounds like a lot of work. But are there areas where AI is already having a positive impact? Like, are we seeing any good stuff happening?
Definitely. Healthcare is a huge one. We've talked about diagnosis, but AI is also being used to develop new drugs, personalized treatments, even assist with surgeries.
That's amazing. So it's not just about automating jobs. It's also about saving lives, making things better.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond healthcare, too. AI is being used to tackle some of the world's biggest problems, like climate change, poverty, hunger.
Well, it's pretty mind-blowing to think about the potential.
It really is. But we got to remember AI is a tool. It's up to us how we use it. We can use it to make a better world, or we can let it make things worse, make inequalities even bigger.
It feels like we're standing at this fork in the road and we get to decide which way to go.
And that's why Brynjolfsson's message is so important. He wants us to be proactive, to embrace what AI can do, but be smart about the risks.
So he's not saying we should be afraid of AI.
Not at all. It's about being informed and engaged and being willing to shape the future of AI. We can't just stand back and let it happen.
Right. It's about harnessing the power of AI for good.
Exactly. And that means thinking critically, asking tough questions, and being willing to challenge how things are done.
So what can our listeners do to be part of this, to make sure we're heading in the right direction?
I think the biggest thing is to stay informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts, go to conferences, and talk about it. Talk to people about what it all means, about the ethics, the impact on society.
Have those tough conversations.
Exactly, because like Brynjolfsson said, the future isn't already written. It's up to us to write it.
That's a powerful thought. We have the chance to shape the future of AI, to make sure it's a future we can all be proud of.
And that's something worth striving for.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of AI. It's been a fascinating conversation. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a mix of excitement and a little bit of nervousness.
I think that's the right way to feel. AI is a powerful force. It's natural to have mixed emotions about it. But the important thing is we're talking about it. We're thinking about it. And that's the first step.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.